Okay.
All right. I see us live on
Perfect.
Twitch.
Yay.
Sweet.
All right. Yep, I think we are live on both. Sounds good. Okay.
Awesome.
Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Let's get to it.
Sweet. Welcome to episode 70 of the TCCG Roundtable. We're your hosts, Dragon Rider, Dangastad, and Ron Mexico. Let's go. We're all here
Hey.
today.
Oh my
Yay.
goodness. A milestone. We needed to delay the milestone a little bit for episode 70.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Life has been lifing, turns out. It does that.
Yeah. we have plenty of to talk about that does not involve gestures broadly. You know.
Well, but yeah, if you'd like to hear me rant, as I always say, available on the streets of Ohio or wherever. Just, yeah, one of those lives.
Now that would be incredible if somebody actually like was listening to this show and lived in Ohio and then just started searching for you in the streets and found you. Uh, would you rant to them like if they're like, "Hey, I've been looking for you for so long. I really want to hear you rant." Would you just go off on any topic?
Oh, absolutely.
Nice.
That's just how I roll. Like
Okay, good.
always.
Glad to hear it.
Oh. Well, it has been a few weeks, I would say, since we have last recorded. So with that, there is some news that has happened. Because as we've talked about previously, also just November, big time for card game releases. So there's been a lot of sets that have come out for multiple games. There's been lots of news for multiple games. So I'm going to let Denkus take it away with some of the news and we can go from there.
All right. So I'm gonna hit it all. Big marathon, one breath. Hold your breath, everybody. Here we go. First up, Magic the Gathering Foundations. It's coming to you right now. Biggest set that we've had in a long, long time, and going to be standard legal for 5 years. So be ready to crack your Lilianas and keep them in play for, well, the rest of the 2020s. It's going to be sweet. Next up, Pokemon TCG Pocket has come out. It's here. We're no longer in New Zealand. We're back in the good old US of A playing some Pokemon. And gotta say, game has been super fun. I've been loving it. Give it a shot. Next up, we have Hearthstone. Lots and lots and lots of Hearthstone news. They did an entire roadmap from next year, which is a bit of a departure from their usual strategy. And lots and lots of juicy tidbits there that I'll save for a little bit later in the show. But those are the big news highlights. And you know what? Later in the show is now. Why not? Let's get into that Hearthstone, Ron. Tell us. What's up there? What do we have going on for 2025 in Hearthstone?
Well, they've announced a whole bunch of different like upcoming expansions, and the first thing that really piqued my interest was the upcoming mini set, where for the first time in Hearthstone's history, we are going to have characters from another IP introduced. Well, I mean, still Blizzard owned, but StarCraft is getting introduced into the space expansion for Hearthstone. What better time? And there's some really interesting things that they're kind of bringing in. They're trying to make each of the factions of Terran, Protoss, and Xur kind of align with different pre-established like preferences for heroes in Hearthstone. And there's also going to be 3 new hero cards that get introduced for each of those, and each kind of I guess, species or whatever you want to call it, is going to be aligned with a certain segment of classes. So, like Jim Raynor will be the hero card for Terran, and Artanis will be the hero card for Protoss, and Kerrigan will be the hero card for Zerg. And different classes get to access those. I that's got me really hyped. You can talk about the other three like expansion releases, which are all really cool in their own right, but I cannot get over the StarCraft thing because I was obsessed with StarCraft as a kid. Uh, like, I mean, I've I'm old enough to remember like being excited for the release of StarCraft expansion Brood War and going crazy playing it all the time with my brother. So it was extra hype for me to see this get introduced into Hearthstone.
So before the show, we were kind of talking about this a little bit, but now I can actually ask you. So how by what medium did you play StarCraft? How did you play on your PC?
Oh yeah, I didn't even know that there was another option
So,
to
so
like console or something. It was like exclusively PC, I think.
So let me tell you, I've actually never played StarCraft on the PC because, like I said, was a little before my time. But my roommate in college brought his StarCraft game for the Nintendo 64, and naturally, I had my N64 with me. And good God, if you thought StarCraft was hard to play with the mouse and keyboard, good luck doing it with a Nintendo 64 control stick and C buttons. That was
I could not
something else.
imagine. Oh
No,
my god.
cannot imagine that.
Yeah.
And from what I recall, the CPU did not pull any punches, so it was the same one you'd be fighting if you were playing on your Windows machine. So, that those brutal difficulties were just as brutal.
Well, if you like the challenge, that's certainly a challenge and a half right there.
Yeah.
Uh, that's a pretty like fairly APM intensive game, at least when you get up to like the higher levels and you need to be managing like a whole bunch of things at once. And that sounds next to impossible on a controller.
Yeah, I can't
It-
imagine trying to do some of those games without hotkeys. Like, how do you even
Yeah.
do that on a controller? There's no hotkeys on the controller. That sounds
Yeah.
terrible.
it's an
Brutal.
experience. I wouldn't recommend it. Just know that it exists and be really happy that no matter what's going on, no matter where you are, that's not what's happening to you right now.
Solid.
Sorry. Ugh.
Well, since you, I guess, had very limited StarCraft experience, except for the difficulty level from Beyond Hell plus Nightmare combined, um, I wanna ask Don, what was your favorite? Because I know you played some StarCraft. So, what was your favorite out
Ooh.
of the three between Terran, Protoss, and Zerg that you would find yourself playing the most?
Ooh. Uh okay, play-wise, probably Terran. Favorite like character and stuff wise, absolutely Zerg. Kerrigan my girl. Like I
Kerrigan's
will
pretty
say
sweet.
4 of my dogs have been named after StarCraft characters or units. So, like StarCraft,
Yeah.
I went to midnight releases at GameStop for some of the games like Heart of the Swarm and stuff. So, yeah, love
Hell yeah.
StarCraft. Love StarCraft.
That's awesome.
Man, that's it. Brings back memories. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It should
so
be
very
exciting
excited.
to have like the StarCraft stuff introduced into Hearthstone.
Yes.
It's going to be very interesting to see like how that plays out and what kind of mechanics they go with.
Yeah.
But it already seems they have a pretty good concept in mind of, hey, this group of classes falls under the general umbrella of Terran, and this group for Protoss, and this group for Zerg. So and some of them like immediately you'd be like, oh yeah, that couldn't possibly be anything else. So like it's cool, checks out.
Yeah. And like, given I have not played the StarCraft game, I played a lot of Heroes of the Storm. So I do love the characters, love their personalities, and I don't know. I hope we get to see Tychus some way, somehow, but We'll
Nice.
see.
Yeah.
You know what we have to say when we see Tychus, though? It's about damn time. You gotta say it. You gotta say it.
Nice.
Wonderful character.
Also, yeah. Also, on the subject of other IPs in Hearthstone, pour one out for Diablo. You know, you'll never get the credit you were due, but hey, Duels was fun while it lasted.
Yeah. I mean,
He's still in Mercenaries.
brief existence and appearance. I guess you could technically say that Diablo did the crossover first,
Yeah.
but
He was an
not
absolute
in
menace in
the
Battlegrounds.
main game, you know.
Yeah.
Duels was the main game mode. I don't know what you mean.
Okay.
Battlegrounds players rolling right now in their chairs.
All right. Yes, I fondly remember playing Duels in 2014 when Hearthstone came out. It was the best. Battlegrounds too.
Yes. We know how much you love Battlegrounds, Ron.
Oh, it's been my favorite game mode ever since Hearthstone released. I loved that it immediately came out on launch in 2014. I remember playing Battlegrounds before there was even mobile capability. It was really cool. I've been a Battlegrounds player ever since.
I bet you're mad you still can't trigger secrets on your own turn anymore. Don't you miss the good old days?
Oh man, if only. Actually, yeah, I'm honestly, if only secrets didn't exist, like at all. Can you imagine? What a world.
They were the best part of playing Hunter, though.
Okay. Maybe I just need to leave now.
I don't know. If you're telling me that your favorite Hunter moment wasn't misdirectioning Mountain Giant against Handlock, I mean,
Okay, misdirection was fantastic.
Yeah.
But it was typically very easy to play around most of the time and didn't work out all that great because, you know, it's a secret.
What's the secret? You just said it's a secret. Is there something you're not telling me, Ron?
There's a lot of things I'm not telling you.
Oh, no.
It's going to remain that way.
Guess I'll just have to wait till next week to find out what secret Ron is hiding.
I mean, you could attack or play a minion or a spell and maybe you'd find out.
I don't know about that.
Then it'll remain a secret.
I guess so.
He always plays around it. Can't trick this guy.
Yep. That's why I'm so good at Hearthstone.
But yeah, Dangus, can you tell us a little bit about the upcoming like 3 expansions that they have on the docket for this rest of, I guess, the season?
So, believe it or not, I do just remember. So first and foremost, we're going to the Emerald Dream. So of the 3 of us, one of us should be particularly happy about that. We might get to see some dragons with Ysera and the druids perhaps there. And yeah, then the fire druids are going to come in for the mini set before we get whisked away to a return to Ungoro Crater. And then last expansion is going to be Heroes of Time. And I think this is the one that I'm most interested in seeing. We're going to be getting an alternate look at different timelines and Warcraft characters and see what might have been. And Chromie is going to be the face of the expansion. And it will all come down to a fight. Was it Murazond or Chromagus at the end of time?
Murazond, I think.
For the mini set. But that's going to be really, really cool. And one thing about Hearthstone that I kind of miss from back in the day is really getting a chance to kind of experience new characters and seeing them. Like, so often these last few years, we've had a lot of going back to the well of fan favorites like the League of Explorers, seeing them. And, you know, this will be the first time since the Mercenaries and Forge and the Barons that we might have a chance to sort of see characters in a different light or get some new ones. And I am all the more excited for some new faces and maybe some old ones just in a new light.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. I was hoping that you would say that you were most looking forward to the third one, because I think it's like they've got something to cater to each of the hosts of this show right now. Dragons in the first one, very much, in Dragon Riders camp. Going back to Ungoro, so I'm sorry, dinosaurs? You gonna give me dinosaurs? I'm super hyped for the second one in Ungoro, and then the third one objectively does kind of sound the coolest, because there's like a lot of uh ways that they could go with like the time thing. Like literally the world is your oyster. You can do anything that you want when you're messing with timelines. Kind of what made Doctor Who such a great show. But yeah, like the concept is fantastic. Like I love that also we get to know in advance what the three things are, and we're not just like guessing with like hints and card art and little things. Just just tell me what it is. I just want to know. I just
But I like
that's
the guessing game. That being said, though, if this means we're getting a Patches the Pirate with Taunt in the last set, I'll be so happy. True alternate timeline.
that would be funny.
Yeah, very excited. I thought it was really cool that they did that because they haven't really done that before where they've actually shown. And I think, didn't the graphics say that they're like working titles? Like there's still a possibility that the expansion names could change or be slightly different.
Maybe.
That, yeah, I have to look at more of the announcement, but I would not doubt that.
But either way, still pretty cool like to know kind of what's coming, even if the expansion name itself were to change slightly. Like they're not going to change what the expansion is, so it's still cool
Right.
knowing ahead of time what it is. And yes, as Ron said, I'm very very excited for Dragons and Emerald Dream. Yep. I mean, they're all awesome, and the like going back to Orangoro sounds really cool, especially because that was such like a fan favorite of expansions. Like people really loved Ongoro, so to go back to that will be like another nostalgia kind of hit, but new stuff, but not
Yeah.
nostalgia at the same time. So yeah, very excited to see what's coming for next year. In addition to the January StarCraft crossover mini set, because yeah, that's just hype.
Yeah, I'm just counting down until January now. Uh, as far as things go, because, well, I mean the current meta being what it is, it probably still needs some changes and tweaking since the older cards have been a little bit too off the charts power level compared to like the newest expansion. And the StarCraft mini set might shake things up, but also even if it doesn't, as long as the cards are like remotely playable, I'm going to be constantly playing StarCraft cards.
Nice. But you said you were the Ungoro fan, right? That's what you
Indeed.
liked. So if you really like Ungoro, really like dinosaurs, can you do the whole rap right now with no preparation?
No,
Do you have the whole thing ready?
I do not.
Can you give us your best Journey to Ungoro chorus?
No,
Or
can't.
okay, well, that's unfortunate. I guess you gotta give Ron lots of subs on stream to make him sing for you. Doesn't like us. He won't do it
it's
for
a
no money.
it's a personal policy. I never never ever will sing on stream. You cannot make me. Uh,
Fair.
We'll trick you someday.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. Listen, I have to play around it. I took a page out of your book.
All right, you got me. Fair enough.
But
So,
yes, the Angora rap is goaded, and I do love dinosaurs very much, and can't wait to see if we get new dinosaurs.
yeah, I'm hoping we get lots of new stuff. I mean, I'm sure we'll get some callbacks. Do you think we get another Sunkeeper Tarim? Do we have room for two of them in standard at once?
I don't know if we need. I don't know if we need more Tarum. I think maybe we have plenty of Tarum.
But what if
we could use another Volcanosaur, like a better one? That'd be cool.
yeah. Would it be
Yes.
Volcanosaur? Oh, are we adapting again? New
Let's
adapt?
go.
I mean, probably. What if they give you adapt, but you get to actually choose? Like it's like a discover adapt.
That seems that's what adapt is though, isn't it?
I mean,
It-
sorry, like you get to choose any of them. Like it gives you a menu of like all of the adapt options. I guess then you
That
just pick the good one every time. But I don't know. Adapt isn't good enough as it is.
I mean, it's like anything else, right? We were just playing an adapt card, more or less, right? Like we were playing the excavate card for Paladin. So I don't know. I think with the right bit of tuning, they can get adapt where it needs to be to see play.
Fair.
Maybe I'm crazy.
But it would make a lot of sense that they would go back to something adapt or akin to adapt for the Angora expansion, since that was the like hallmark of that one. Whether or not they do that or just go in a totally different direction remains to be seen. I don't mind if they just try to go with something totally different, but I wouldn't hate it if they just had like a new take on adapt, as long as it's not the exact same thing as adapt. They're like, hey, we brought adapt back. Uh, now you have a bad keyword. Enjoy.
Oh no. We're gonna have to do another. I'm gonna have to do another keyword ranking one of these days. If you think adapt's a bad keyword,
Well, it's not a good keyword. Uh, uh, to call it bad is a little uncharitable, I guess. But like in the ranking of keywords, adapt is not in my top 10. I don't think.
there's lots of keywords. I don't know if you remember it, but there's like dozens of them, like almost 40.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm not
to
sure it makes the top 20 then.
oof. What's your bottom? What's your worst one? What's your least favorite keyword?
Taunt is cheat.
All right.
You walked right into that.
I mean, if it's your real answer, I don't mind. It is cheating. What about you, Don? What's your least favorite keyword?
uh my least favorite? Man. I'm gonna have to think on that. I
Yeah,
don't
it's a
know off the
tough
top of my head.
question to answer right off
Yeah.
the top of your head.
Well,
Do
I
you
can.
have one?
Yeah, I know mine. It's the one that's in standard right now. Actually, I think quick draw is the worst keyword. I don't think it's close. I think it's quick draw.
Quick draw is pretty garbage,
Mm.
Yeah,
except when rogue.
yeah. I mean, it's not the worst off of. I think the discovering it is okay, but like actually putting cards in your deck with quick draw is so. I don't like what it promotes.
Yeah. No, it's well, it's just bad almost all of the time if you're main decking a quick draw card, and the only way you can make it good is by tutoring the card and just hoping you don't draw it until your tutor uh turn, where you draw it and then play it, or if it's hidden behind like a discover effect, like you said, where rogue has the 1 mana card to discover a quick draw, and then that gets super insane plenty of times.
Yeah,
Otherwise, pretty bad.
yeah. Or it's just trolley problem and it just works, right? It's the
Hmm.
other. That's the other one. But
Well, yeah, but trolley just has like the downside that's sometimes an upside type of thing.
yeah. So I will say though, I was surprised at your answer because there was a keyword I thought you'd like even less than taunt. So
uh
one of the rare keywords. It's your good friend counter.
Outer.
Counter. So if you're familiar with Counterspell and Blade Master Okani, you might know about
Oh, that
counter.
is, yeah, okay, that is technically a keyword. I don't think of it as a keyword, but you're right. It's a keyword.
Now
It's
here's a
just
question.
like you don't see any minions with counter except for literally just that one card, which is Okani.
Yep. And last trivia question. We're gonna see a return to it, or we have seen a return to it in part. But what is the rarest keyword of them all? Only one version of this keyword in all of Hearthstone. What's the rarest keyword?
Is it choose thrice?
It is not.
I don't know.
Do you want a hint?
Sure.
I will tell you that the keyword is from the set Forged in the Barrens.
Oh, I got nothing. Don, you got any guess?
No. I think I probably like blocked out some of the memories from that time as well, so I'm drawing a blank here.
All right. So let me tell you, it's your favorite keyword, nature spell damage +3. Nature spell damage is only keyworded once. And if you go onto the Hearthstone site, you will see that nature spell damage is separate from spell damage as a keyword.
Weird.
This is one of the strange intricacies of Blizzard that we'll never understand as just mere players. But it's
That's
pretty
on
neat.
BrewCon, right?
Yeah, it is. BrewCon special. But we do have, didn't we just get a spell type spell damage back for fire spell damage in
We
Great
did.
Dark Beyond?
That was the Elemental Mage card. The legendary, 6 mana, 7/6?
Saroon.
Saroon? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so there you go. That's your obscure trivia for the day from me. But
Nice.
we're gonna go a little backwards now. Other than Hearthstone, you guys been playing any other games? Doing anything else fun?
For other games, outside of Hearthstone, I've only been playing a college football game. I kind of love it. I play a lot of. I mean, the game has a lot of flaws that frustrate me, but the main thing is that like I can build a dynasty of like a school and recruit fake people to
So much.